Okay, so today we're talking about bayonets, and quite frankly, I really like the bayonet. I think it's a really cool tool. It basically turns your firearm into a sword, baseball bat, and keeps it as a firearm at the same time. So it's sort of a multi-tool. The bayonet history goes quite a ways back, basically probably from the beginning of firearms. My guess, I don't know the full history exactly because it's sort of patchy depending on who you go to for the story, but basically as firearms came into play after the sword, they'd carry a sword anyway, so I guess they came to the adaptation of putting the sword on the gun. So anyways, we've got a few different styles here. I've got two SKSs with the swing out bayonet. The reason I've got the two videos, well, they got bayonets on them, but also they're a slightly different style gun. However, the bayonets are the same. The stocks are different of the gun. The gun's the same gun, just different stocks, so different feel. That's all. But, and different look, I guess. But anyway, it's the exact same thing. And we've got a Lee Enfield down here with the spike bayonet, and then my Mossberg 590 A1 with the bayonet on it as well. So here we go again to the first one, which is the Lee Enfield. I've got the bayonet here on the sling, and the reason I've got that is instead of it being separate for the gun, it's always with the gun. So it's on my shoulder, the rifle, and I have my sling right here, or my bayonet right here. And the reason for that is I can just grab it right there, and it can be put to use. So I could use it as an ice pick, I could use it to poke in defense, or just as another tool for whatever. It's just right there. One thing that makes it handy. The other thing is the gun comes down, sets here. Pull out our bayonet, and it snaps on. The thing about bayonet is it needs to go 45 degrees from the gun down, and then it rocks in and snaps on. And that's how you mount that style of bayonet. You grab the bottom of it, push the button, turn it, and it can come off. Right on here, there's these two little wings that grab your bayonet. So, as you can see, it snaps on, and then comes off. So that's that style. This is a spike, as you saw in the photographs. You can get ones with blades. In cadets, ours had blades. We didn't use these spike nail bayonets. They had a few different varieties of these spike ones. This is the third generation. That's all I know. They made them and the spikes were breaking off, so they went back to the drawing board, recreated them. And the spikes were better, but they were still breaking, so they went back again to make this special bevel on the end here that stopped the spikes from breaking. So there you go. So that's one. That's the Lee Enfield. And we'll get on to, I might as well just go to the SKSs, because they're kind of cool. They're almost one of my favorites, because the bayonet is always on the rifle, and it looks really cool. It's like jewelry in my opinion. Looks just like jewelry. Well, it's as good as having jewelry on your gun. It's nice, shiny. Just, I don't know, I really like the way bayonets look on guns. I hear a lot of people, they don't like the bayonet on the SKS, but in my opinion, it's what makes the SKS look the way it does, or it'd just be like an AK. That's my opinion. I mean, it just looked like just a regular old rifle, you know, but you put the SKS on it, it makes it, in my opinion, something special. So, there you go. So that one swings out. Very simple. It's on a spring inside the handle, and it snaps back in. You can sharpen these because they're a sword bayonet. The nice thing about a sword bayonet as to a spike bayonet, a spike bayonet was mostly just for stabbing and poking. Sword bayonet is made for doing damage. It's made to cut, slash, and chop. It's just a devastating tool and it's a hideous attack. What am I trying to say? It's basically a devastator, is what it is. It's a real nice attachment to make your gun into a killing machine. So, like, if I was going for home defense, and I was going to talk about home defense this SKS is actually one of my first grabs, because I don't have to shoot the person. I can hit him with it like a baseball bat, or I could stab them. You know, you don't have to shoot them. So that's one thing I really like about the bayonet. And with this one in particular, the bayonet's always on the gun. You can't lose the bayonet; it doesn't fall off. Unlike the snap-on, clip-on types, they can fall off on occasion. So I really like about the fold-out kind. This gun's just the same thing, different style stock, but same flip-out bayonet. And this one's not sharp, however, because I just didn't go through the time to sharpen it. So there you go. We'll get on to the shotgun now. This is sort of one of my favorites, but like what I like about it is the style and the way it works. I'm not actually a big fan of this particular one, because Mossberg, in my opinion, you get what you pay for. They're nothing fancy. This bayonet falls off on occasion. When I'm shooting, it wants to fall off quite often. If I did a video where I was shooting a made-up zombie out of a basically it was a dummy I made up, and I was slashing at it with this, and I shoot it, and actually the bayonet did come off. So I'd use it if worst case scenario, but I don't think I would actually rely on this one. But I'll show you what I do like about it and why I like the design. First of all, it's a really beefy bayonet. Sorry, my lighting seems to keep changing here, and there's not much I can do about it. So anyways, as you can see, it looks badass on the gun, and it works. The other thing about it is it's sort of a multi-tool. It's also a really nice knife. It's quite sharp, and it has this tool in here, which you put onto this little nub here. There's a little nub. I don't know if you can see that. Fuck. But anyway, there is a nub there. Jesus Christ, my lighting is crap. Okay. Well, fuck. Anyway, there is a nub there. And you put this section of the blade, not the sharp end, but the back end of the blade up against your hook. There's a little hook here. And you do that. And now, I take my piece of wire, which is right here. We'll slip that into there, and we can cut it. Just like so. And that just cut the wire into two pieces. So if you had to get through a fence or something, you could cut your way through with that. Had to get past barbed wire fence, had to get into a fence, had to cut any kind of wires. There you go. I wouldn't cut a high voltage wire though or anything like that with these, because they're metal. This case, the sheath, this hard sheath that it comes with, looks like it's got a few other functions. It's got a window breaker on it. Basically this screwdriver end, it's a little flat end there. That can be used to break a window. It can also be used as a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver. You got this hook here that was for cutting wire. I'm sure there's other options you could put that to. But the other thing about this is this flat edge here fits perfectly into your sight adjustment. There's a flat head right there, and you can actually adjust your ghost ring sights from left to right by tweaking it and turning it. So, just another little multi-tool there. But as far as defense goes, I think a bayonet is a really good option for home defense. The reason for that is, like I said, the rifle is a rifle. It's also a baseball bat and a club, and it is also a sword. It's your sort of 4-in-1 tool. If someone were coming into my house, the first thing I would do is grab that SKS, I think, and I'd flip out that bayonet, and then I would load the gun. That way, if anyone's coming in, I can greet them with the bayonet first. And of course you can, well, when it comes to tactics with the bayonet, practice of course helps, but you don't, I mentioned this in another video, there is no kata as far as bayonet use goes. You use it as you need to use it. There's a lot of tactics that will help you be more proficient with it. But as far as the right way and wrong way, the right way is if it saves your life. That's basically the right way. So it's you can slash, you can stab, you can poke, you can use the blunt end, you can use the sharp end. It's almost endless possibilities with it, and you can also just use it as an intimidation factor. So, I mean, you have a group of guys running at you with bayonets mounted on their gun is going to give you a bit of fear just on its own, whether those guns are loaded or not. So it definitely adds an intimidation factor to it, and I just really like the way they look. So there you go. I don't know. I could really talk all day on bayonets, but I think I've said everything, and I just keep repeating myself, and I might add new little tips, but I'm just going to keep repeating myself pretty much, as in saying they kick ass.